It is Saturday night. Once again, this is the Overnight Mouse Party. I'm Dan Foss, and we have gun websites. How's it going, G-Webs?
I don't know if I was in the right room. What happened to that last scene? What happened between you and Gizzard that we don't know about?
Well, when I was loading up the intros, uh, transferring them over to the laptop, I cannot remember what prompts I used to make those pictures. Apparently, some kind of underwater western, but I don't have a
Mhm.
clue what I put in to get those pictures.
I feel like either Gary betrayed you or Gizzard was doing something that seemed wrong, but it was actually some sort of some kind of misunderstanding. But you drew on him for sure.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
all a matter of interpretation.
Guns and Barbecue. How you doing tonight?
Fair to Midland. Because again, G-Webs did not say it, so there was a disturbance in the force. Somebody has to say it. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for hosting.
And Gizzard Gary. How you doing?
Hey, I'm wonderful, and thanks for having me. I certainly appreciate it, sir.
Gary sounds really
There's,
weird. He's a robot. What the heck's going on?
there's a link for this week's poll. If you have not voted in the poll, head over there, take a vote. We'll take a look at it here in just a little bit. And I wanted to mention for those living in Washington State. I'm on the wrong mic. It did that to me the other day, where it decided to be on a different mic. Hang on.
We can hear you.
Sound fine to me.
Yeah, I thought you sounded fine.
Oh, can you hear this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm on the right mic.
Tap it again.
No, not really.
Oh.
No.
It was a different mic, probably.
All right, hang on. Let me figure out how to change my mic.
His finger there.
Again, settings, audio. Yep, it's on the webcam. Hang on. Is that? There we go. That's the right one. All right, that should sound a little better. Should sound as bad as normal.
Nope.
Stay. Oh, for people living in Washington State, if you have an AR or a semi-automatic rifle, nobody will ship parts to us, even though you should technically be able to get parts, because the only thing banned is the serialized part, basically the receiver, and now threaded barrels. But Midway USA will still ship parts to Washington. So if you're in need of parts, check out Midway. I am not sponsored by them. Just wanted to let people know. And a little later, maybe we'll do a giveaway.
Ooh.
I would just like to also let people know, Fuss, if you're in Washington and you're in need of parts, let me know what you need. And for a large price gouge, similar to what Cheaper Than Dirt would do to you back in the day, you could get parts mailed to you from me.
Well, Cheaper Than Dirt would ship them to you, stop the shipment midway, have it sent back to them, and then jack up the price.
And that's why it's better to do it with me, because I won't have the shipment brought back to me and jack it up. I'll just jack it up right in the immediate time and then ship it. You're welcome.
You cut out the garbage and just overcharge from the start.
Yep.
Upfront overcharging. But so far out there is X Adam 1. Woods. Said you can have your own tiger there too. I don't know where. Oh, Texas. And Gizzard Gary. Vulcan Rumble. 2 live movies. And I know. Ooh, the Saint. He said lower than Dirt. I have never bought from them just because of what they did. And Garage Guy. I think Honcho Fett. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he's been on the road a lot. On the road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Seeing places he's already been. 2A for USA is out there. And I think that's everybody that has said something so far. Good evening. Good evening. G Webs. I should get those Extreme Defender rounds, the all copper, this week. So I'll make up a dummy load and a dummy round and send it to you. And I loaded you a dummy Thug Slug.
Oh, cool.
You can
Thanks.
see it in there. It's my first roll crimp I've ever done. So, and there's no powder, no primer, so they're inert. But you can see it in there because I used the
those
clear
are cool.
hulls.
With the clear hulls, yeah.
And I bought some Double-Aught Buck. So I'm getting closer to actually making a live shotgun round.
Sweet.
And I have to wait. I want to use Alliant Red Dot powder to do the slugs. And a lot of the shotgun powders seem to be out of stock everywhere. So I have found low data for using long shot, which I have a bunch of long shot. So I'll probably do long shot with a Double-Aught Buck. And then once the other powders come back in stock, then I can load these. These are only 1 ounce Thug Slugs. Garage Guys asking, any experience with the TSOS 1911 pistols? I have not. I've never touched a TSOS, any of the TSOSs. He says they are awesome.
I was gonna say when they first came out, the ones that I got my hands on were complete dog crap, and they were such crap it made me feel dirty for even handling it. And then I don't know, it was I think just last year on Gary's show I was talking to Snob about it, and he had said he had gotten one, and he said like he was very adamant that I needed to take another look at them, and I did, and I was like, this is a night and day difference. And I was actually talking to another shop owner here in town that really likes 1911s, and he had told me when they first came out, wherever they were making them, there was a big issue, and they actually changed up a lot of stuff after the first year or two, and really cleaned them up. So yeah, the TSOSs are pretty sweet.
Don't they make a case colored high power too? That's really nice looking, I think.
I'm not sure. I think they do. I know they're making a high power clone.
Garage Guy said TSOS has really upped their game. No MIM parts. Solid 1911 pistols.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you to the Saint who reminded me to turn the banner on. At the bottom of the screen is a banner with an email address, untacticalfoss@gmail.com. You can send in comments, suggestions, or pictures within reason. And a link for the Discord server. fun and happening place to share memes and pictures and chit chat. Even G Webs has a Discord server.
He does.
Unwillingly.
And Hacha said, so I haven't been around a lot, but are guns a thing still? Or are we on laser guns now? I don't think we've quite made it to lasers. And Woods is asking, are Turkish guns subject to tariffs? I don't
Yes.
know.
Extra tariffs. So a 9mm laser is like a laser pointer, and a 45 ACP laser is like the Death Star laser.
And let me go. And X Adam 1 said, you can buy the entire shotgun shell, and it even comes assembled. Yes, you can, but I enjoy loading myself. That's not the one I want. This box sees it. It's like I've done 357 and some more 357. Just the other day, I did a bunch of 450 Bushmaster, and I enjoy the process of doing it. I'm not loading for precision because I'm not a precision shooter, but I don't know. I enjoy it. And I like being able to do it. So if I ever needed to be able to do it, I can do it. And I have the stuff to do it. And that's why I do it.
I've been making reloading my own peanut butter cups. I buy bulk chocolate, and then I have to find the right kind of peanut butter. But then I just use this machine, and it primes the chocolate, and fills them, and then caps them. Oh, hey, Mr. Knives.
Oh, Mr. Knives. Vulcan Rumble says, measure the shotgun shell length before crimping. For, I'm guessing, ejection length. But I'm probably going to roll crimp and, just because I like the look of it mainly. Because I can. And as long as it's, with the length is not as important as with star crimping. But I'm new to it, so I don't know what I'm doing. That's why I'm going slowly and trying to be careful. And Ozzy Orsborn is out there. Good evening. Vulcan Rumble said, TSOS guns are cheaper. Some have MIM parts, then upgrade the internals. I know when Yankee got his high power TSOS, he basically replaced everything that was replaceable because it wouldn't work. But it sounds like they've kind of worked out whatever issues and are. Who else? Kind of like Rock Island. Rock Island never really had a problem, but as they progressed, their guns have gotten better. I don't know if I've ever shot one, but just from seeing reviews and the product seems to be a lot better. And Wood said, so far, no tariffs on Turkish stuff. I was looking at a cheap Turkish over and under. The something links. Just because I want an over and under, but I don't need a fancy one. He said he just looked up the tariffs. So, why don't we take a look at this week's poll? Let me. There and there. So, this week's poll was, how do you like your bacon? Let me refresh the screen, make sure we've got any and all of the latest comments. Get to the newest first. There we go. And the choices were crispy, chewy, or I don't like bacon. 70% said crispy. 27% said chewy. 3% said I don't like bacon.
Yeah, those people are Canadian.
Can you really trust people that don't like bacon?
I don't know. Chris Lang said on the verge of crispy. Justin Graham said third option is a crime against humanity. Minnie Wayne said bacon, yay. New York Outcast, in between, I like good beef jerky. I like a good beef jerky. Often crispy can end up overdone. You should be able to drop it on your plate without busting into pieces. I get my best results with thick cut bacon. The goddamn bacon said depends. How do I like you? Krabby Turtle said in my belly. 22 Guru, cooking bacon on the grill right now for BLTs. Gizzard Gary said crispy, but not burnt. It's a frying pan, not a crematorium. Woods said crisp. If you like chewy bacon, friends off. Vanessa Kitty, raw. Raw because don't we all enjoy parasites in the brain? Crispy, thick, crispy bacon. Gun website said yes. DJ Play and I said by the pound. X Adam 1 said chewy equals raw. I've eaten raw bacon before. It was okay. It's not as good as cooked. I like if I'm eating just a bacon, like it's eggs and bacon. I like it crispy, but not crispy, so crispy that when you bite it, kind of as New York Outcast was saying, it shatters. But I like a good crunch. If it's on a burger or something, it's on that border of being crispy. Just crispy and, done enough where when you bite into it, you bite through the bacon and it doesn't pull the whole strip out because it's too chewy. What about you, Gary?
The bacon in a can is exactly the same stuff as at Subway. It's just pre-cooked bacon that they put in a wax paper and put in a can.
So, what's the question for me?
Oh, how do you like your bacon?
Oh, crispy, of course.
Do you like it extra crispy, kind of crispy?
I like a crunchy bacon, but I don't want it so much so that when I take the first bite, the whole piece falls apart or anything like that. So if it's just to the verge of being crispy, that's why I said I don't want it black or anything like that. But it's really hard to get it just right sometimes, depending on the bacon. But I do like a crunchy bacon.
How do you cook your bacon?
In a frying pan, the old-fashioned way.
I cook my bacon in the oven.
Well, I've heard people. That's what Snob says he does too. I've never tried that.
It's a lot easier. I'll put them on racks. That way the grease will drip off them. And
I have microwaved bacon before.
oh no, God no. But you can, you basically put them on the racks, on the sheets, put them in the oven for, I don't know, half an hour or more. And basically, like, set it and forget it, as Ron Popeil would say.
Have you ever bought the pre-cooked bacon?
I have used it. It's okay, but all the grease has coagulated on all the strips of bacon. You were saying something, barbecue. You're going to tell us how to do bacon?
Oh, did I? I didn't realize I said anything. But no, as long as it's not Canadian bacon, bacon's pretty acceptable. And no turkey bacon. That's not bacon. That's just turkey product masquerading as bacon. Um, Bacon only comes from pigs. Thick cut, definitely preferred. Um, I like my bacon to be on the verge of crispy, but I still like to have that little bit of spring from the fat that's on there.
I am not really a fan of the thick cut bacon.
Just gonna act like I didn't hear that.
I just prefer the regular cut bacon. That might just be, that's what I grew up with, so that's what I got used to. But yeah, I prefer just the regular. I'm not against the thick cut. I just would kind of prefer the regular.
How about the fake stuff like the bacon bits, or baconettes, or whatever they used to be?
Bacon bits is real. I've seen him.
He's a real dog.
There are bacon bits that are made out of soybean though.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff in the jar that's dry
Mm-hmm.
for
Are you
salad.
talking about the minced up croutons?
I think Bacos, I believe they were called back in the day.
Textured vegetable protein, probably.
Yeah.
Mr. Bob Dabalina's out there. He said turkey bacon equals fakin'. And Walter Davis is out there. Good evening.
Big crowd, big crowd.
Yeah, if you ever have the McDonald's burger with their bacon is terrible. I'm not sure if it's reconstituted bacon, but it's not fun to eat.
It's bacon plagiarism.
I've never eaten McDonald's bacon that I can know of, but I've had fast food bacon where they shave it, where it's like so thin that you can't even. I mean, it's technically a piece of bacon or whatever, but it's impossible to cook because they cut it so thin. Is that what you're talking about? Where it's like not good. That's a way to make bacon not good, I think.
It's about the thickness is about the same, but when you bite on it, it's about like it's not like quite like biting down on a piece of cardboard. So it doesn't. It's not chewy, but it's not crispy either.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of is Carl's Jr.'s bacon biscuits that I ate them for a while. And those things, the bacon was like hit or miss. And it was like that thin stuff that I don't even know how they make it, honestly, in the back. Like, whatever this process is, though, like, somehow it didn't come out very good.
Mr. Knives said bacon grease for refried beans. The Saint said Burger King does the Baconator. Baconator is Wendy's.
That is 100% correct.
Yep. And I don't know. I feel like the proper grease for refried beans was lard. When my aunt would make frijoles, she always
Manteca?
used lard. It's beef.
Walter Davis said when ingredients of bacon include mechanically processed chicken, it's bad bacon. The Saint said, "Oh, one of them never got one." I think I have had one because they had like a Baconator and like a double Baconator, and I swear they had like a triple Baconator for a while at least. I haven't been to Wendy's a lot just because their fries are terrible.
I actually like their fries.
They're kind of soggy.
I've never had that issue. Maybe it's just your. I don't know.
See, I
All
used
the
to-
Wendy's I've been to, they're. I don't mind that they have the potato skin on them. That didn't bother me. It's just that they were on the soggier side
I
rather than
think
crispy.
because their fries are thicker, they're not shoestring fry like McDonald's or a lot of other
Yeah.
places. That probably kind of gives that feeling.
Well,
Is
there's
there-
room.
Could be.
You know, when they're thicker, that means that you cannot cook them all the way. When they're thinner, the only
Yep.
problem you got is cooking them too much, really.
but the thicker
about,
ones will
with-
retain heat longer.
That's interesting.
If you go to a place like, say, Whataburger or even like, Freddy's, or that's got the shoestring fries, you got to eat those first because once they're cold, they're inedible.
That's a good point, or it's an interesting point.
For fries, kind of my number one thing is it should not taste like a potato.
What's wrong with tasting
If
like a
it-
potato?
If it's cooked properly, it doesn't taste like you're eating a potato.
How about tater tots? What's your stance on tater tots?
I do like tater tots. If there's a choice between fries and tater tots, I'll take the fries. Normally, there is a burger joint in town which they have decent burgers, but their fries are just god awful, and their tater tots aren't much better, but they're better than the fries. So I'll get the tater tots. The Saint said Five Guys has the worst fries. I
Yes.
like them. I think they're better than the Wendy's fries. They are on the soggy side. I put them on the soggy category, but at least they're generous with their fries.
I think
Right.
they actually make theirs from cut potatoes, don't they?
And they
Yes.
fry them in peanut oil, which is a little different. They also do the whole process. They cook them and then they fry them. There's some places that cut them so thin that they just fry them. And there's a pretty big difference between a fried raw potato and a pre-cooked fried potato.
And I do like that they'll list where the potatoes came from, and usually they're somewhere in the Northwest, so they're somewhat locally sourced, which I
You
kind of
go,
like.
every Five Guys I've been to will have a sign that tells you whose potatoes you're eating that day. Like
Yeah.
they definitely are there for the fries. That's what their whole thing is.
The only problem with Five Guys is they're god awful expensive.
Well, it's because you're not getting extra fries. You're paying for all those fries.
Yeah.
I get paid.
But
to eat theirs. I like eating them.
I don't know. There's something about Five Guys. I've said it before. They're not the best burgers, but I really like them, and I don't know why.
Reminds me of Fair Food.
So they have like funnel cakes. That'd be good.
They should like
I
that.
love
That would
funnel
complete it.
cake. Yeah.
But like when you go to the county fair or something and you get that burger and fries, it's just saturated in grease. And I mean, look at the bag that they hand you by time you get it. I mean, it's darkened halfway up just from all the grease. It's like, holy cow, this is gonna take 5 years off my life. It's gonna be great, but Let's say the one here actually went out of business. I think like a year ago.
Nobody was
But
going to.
I think the big problem was poor management. Like because you would go in there and they just have these boxes of peanuts, and like I know like one of the things is like, oh, here, have some peanuts while you're waiting on your food and stuff. But like the last time that I had been in there, all the peanuts tasted like mildew. I was like, why do you guys have these out? Like you should be throwing these out.
Yeah, that's messed up. I think they even
Yeah.
have dates on the side of the box usually, so you have some idea of like when they opened it. But yeah, if nobody's eating them, they probably aren't paying attention, huh? And just let them sit there and get gross.
That's what I was thinking. They must have had like 12 big boxes of peanuts
They
just
say
sitting there.
that peanuts is one of the things that gets people. Like of all the foods, like peanuts is one that'll go bad, and people, get sick from it from not realizing they're bad.
I
But
believe it.
regular shelled peanuts will go bad because really, how do you know how old they are?
That's why when I eat peanuts, usually I will, crack them with my hand because as a kid, I remember opening them and then, moldy peanuts inside. So I don't just throw them in my mouth.
I think that definitely happened more when I was a kid too, because I haven't seen that happen in a long time. But it definitely was a thing.
Two Live Moose said my son worked at Arby's. I will never eat there ever. I love their curly fries.
Yes.
I've worked at enough fast food and restaurants and things that, like, you either have to turn off your awareness of what's going on or what could be going on back there, or you can trust like a couple of restaurants where you can just go into a restaurant and tell immediately, like if a restaurant has a good manager, and that's all that matters, right? Because if there's a manager that don't care, then who knows whatever the worst employee feels like doing is what you're eating. When you have a good manager, right, it's that at least that bad employee probably don't work there. So working at a
My
restaurant,
basic rule is if I like it, I don't question it.
yeah, you have to turn that shit off if you're eating
and
out.
if I get food sickness, then I just don't eat there anymore. But Ozzy said I like crinkle cut fries.
That's tough. They're usually the worst of. Well, they're not the worst. They're the second worst. I think the worst are the steak fries, the big flat fries. At least as far as like what Denny's gives you, like they're the least consistency. I would say crinkle cut are the second least. Like I've eaten more frozen crinkle cut fries in my life than McDonald's types of fries. You know what I mean? Like they could not cook a crinkle cut fry easier. Does that make sense? Like they can fuck up a crinkle cut fry pretty easy.
X Adam once said I miss Rally's fries. Not sure who has the equivalent in fries. I've never been to a Rally's.
I'm trying to remember. Are they like a McDonald's?
I'm not sure. And the grocery stores have Arby fries frozen.
I've eaten those. I like their onion rings too. I think it's Arby's onion rings.
Can't remember. I don't think it was the Arby's ones, but there's only been like one frozen because ones you bake. Because I don't have a fryer anymore. But for ones that you bake, there's only been like one brand that has good onion rings. I can't think of
Hardee's.
well from the frozen section.
Oh! I thought you were talking about fast food places. I'm sorry.
No.
What about the kind of fries where you put batter on them, like they're, batter fries or whatever, where there's like chicken fry stuff on the outside?
I'm okay with it. I don't think I've had any bad ones. Wouldn't be my first choice.
Oh, and Walter's saying the potato wedges. I've had potato wedges with that fry stuff on them too. That's pretty good usually. But they can screw those up.
Yeah, that's where I don't mind the potato tasting like potato, because basically it's a eighth
You're
of a
eating
potato.
chunk of a baked potato, yeah.
Yeah, and usually around here they call them JoJo's,
That's
or
right.
either
Actually,
JoJo's or potato wedges.
when I was a little kid, that was not a little kid. When I was a younger person, that's the first time I ever ate a potato wedge. Was in a gas station in Washington.
Yeah.
I was traveling, and I'm like, "What the hell are these?" Like, we're at some gas station, and they're like, "Cause I thought they were like, I don't know, chicken or something." And they're like, "Oh, those are potatoes." I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I got them because they look like fried chicken, you know. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Who would have figured out to put chunks of potato in fried chicken stuff and then make them into this massive potato chunk?" Those are amazing. And now you can buy them at the store, like in the frozen section and shit.
Walter Davis. I had dinner tonight with a friend that moved away. The place had fried pickles. They were good.
I finally ate them. They
I
were
don't
like
think
the
I've.
sliced kind of pickles, like, you know, like if you take a pickle and just slice it
Yeah,
up. Then they
Mhm.
fried those.
I don't think I've had fried pickles before.
I mean, it kind of tastes like what you'd expect, but they're different because they're so salty, and there's almost nothing to them. I thought they were going to be more like a bite into it and get a chunk of pickle in your mouth or something, like some pickle juice, but it's more like just eating a bunch of fried stuff with a prickly flavor.
Now, Sonics around here at least have pickle fries. They're
Oh, really?
actually cut like fries. Yeah, pretty good.
But so they're fries that just taste like pickles, or there are pickles.
They are pickles. Yes.
Oh shit! Okay, I've never seen
Do
that.
they
But I haven't been
tickle?
to Sonic in a long time.
Do they tickle? Well, I suppose if you're in a good mood, they could tickle you. Tickle your fancy, anyway.
Uh, Vulcan Rumble. I find fries do not travel well, and I have to eat them fresh and hot at McDonald's. I find other places pale in comparison.
I don't know about everybody else in this world. I eat my fries first. 'Cause
Yep.
I don't
I
want
d-
them cold.
Keep
Nope.
in mind,
I do also.
Bill Gates owns all the potatoes for McDonald's fries at this point, doesn't he? So you're just feeding. Every time you're eating fries, you're feeding Bill Gates. At least at McDonald's.
Well, I
Well,
feel
he's
like
one
I
of the.
have to because I don't buy his computers. So
Ouch! Ouch!
I think he's the single largest farm owner now in the U.S. because he started buying up farmland. Sergeant Joe Smith said Red Robin fries are pretty good. Maybe not my favorite, but some are better. They're okay.
they're not doing very well financially, though. They're closing a bunch of locations down, I hear.
Really.
Yeah.
I will say the Royal Robin burger is one of my favorites. It's with the egg on top. It's just that it's so messy that I usually don't get it. Is to get the yolk in my beard, and
You're saying the yolk's on you.
pretty much. I guess I can close that out. Walter said every junkyard has dozens of cars with fast food French fries under the seat that look like they got dropped that way.
Don't recommend tasting them, though.
I don't doubt it. Sergeant Joe
When the
Smith said
fries are
Checkers
still
has.
there in the junkyard, animals like rats and shit aren't eating them. Yeah, you know that those fries are chemical.
Checkers are equivalent to rallies.
Is Checkers like sliders, like White Castle, like little tiny hamburgers?
I don't
I don't
think
think so.
I don't know.
That's not Rallies. Is there's somebody that's a fake White Castle?
Oh, what is it? What is the name of the chain that's very similar?
Buy 'em by the bag type of thing.
Well,
Sounds-
I know there's Hardee's and Carl's Jr., but as far as
This is more like a drive-through. You can only go to the drive-through, and I think it's even the kind where there's a drive-through on both sides of the building.
The beige palace.
Crystal is what's similar to
Oh,
White
that
Castle.
might be what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. I never ate there, of course, but I've been to the drive-through once. Oh, it's a long time ago.
We got a problem. X Adam
Uh-oh.
once said there's no such thing as a good onion ring.
That's absolutely false.
what?
Provably false.
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
I know. Get a rope.
Who invented the onion rings? Is that an American thing? It's got to be.
I don't know for sure, but I'm going to say yes.
I like.
And there is a
The
difference because, like, if you get Burger King onion rings, it's a minced onion
Yeah, I don't mind
formed
those.
into a ring, which is nice because they're uniform and you get a bunch of them. Whereas,
You can bite them
um,
too. Like it'll, you know,
yeah,
it's a thing. You can chew it and bite a piece off, and it's not. You're not getting a chunk out.
I do like a regular, an actual onion ring better. An onion, a ring of onion that's battered. But like you were saying, sometimes when you bite it, all the onion comes out, or you get like two because they're so big. But onion rings are very good.
None of that bothers me though. And then, have you ever eaten a blooming onion? I've never ate one. From
No.
Chili, whatever.
Oh yeah, I have.
I'm assuming
okay.
Outback.
Oh, it's Outback. Whatever. I've never eaten one though. I've never been to that restaurant.
Let's see. Texas Roadhouse has a lot of places have them now, but yeah.
Well, they make a thing where you smash an onion, you can make them. But
Mhm.
that's the kind of thing I'd need to go camping or something. So that seems like the kind of thing you'd make when you're camping. Because it's going to make a massive mess.
Vulcan Rumble wants to know if I eat pastrami sandwiches. I have eaten a pastrami sandwich at some point in my life, but it's not a regular thing.
If you get a good one, they're pretty good.
He's asking, is there a bracket tonight? I do have one, but I don't know if we'll get to it or not.
There's too many people here. He doesn't want to have a bracket when there's this many people.
Oh, let me get
You're
that up
out
here.
somewhere on a journey. You haven't eaten in forever. Something happens along the way, so you have to stop, and everybody has to do stuff. So now everybody's super hungry. Like nobody had eaten anyway. Now you're super hungry. So not quite medically hungry, but you're freaking hungry. Are you? And then they're almost out of whatever. When you get to a restaurant, they're almost out of stuff, so you can only order one or the other. Are you ordering onion rings or fries? You can only order one or the other. You can't order both. There's no sharing. There's some rule against it.
Oh, it would. It kind of really depends. If you're hungry, you're where you've got that, your stomach is a little knotted. Probably fries, just because they're a little easier on your stomach than onion rings.
There's more food in fries, right?
Well, when you eat onion rings, it's absorbing a lot of grease. So
Yeah, I feel like you're just really an excuse for eating a bunch of fried stuff when you're eating onion rings. Fries, you're kind of eating food. I don't know if there's a good answer to that, but I think I'm eating onion rings just because I'd rather experiment on an onion ring than eat a fry most of the time.
It really just depends on how I feel and where I'm at, how good their onion rings are. If they're mediocre onion rings, then I'll get them once in a while. Should we give away some throwing knives?
Wait, what now?
are you going to mail them or are you going to throw them to people? That's the question.
So
Do
I've
we
got
have
this.
to catch?
Mail them with a big spring, so when you open it, it's still a throwing knife.
Set of Smith & Wesson throwing knives with a nylon sheath. Briefly used. I used them to do a review, but they're in good condition.
Can
Should we
those
give these
legally
away?
be mailed to all 50 states?
Well, we'll say legality is up to the receiver.
What if a 6-year-old child wins?
Well, I guess a 6-year-old child's going to have some kick-ass throwing knives.
What if it's a 6-year-old child in Buenos Aires?
Argentina.
Are you still sending it?
Well, if Argentina wants to come and get me, they can come and get me. So,
Having had
Do I
somebody
have-
who won a prize who lived in Argentina, I can tell you that postage is rather pricey.
I don't know. I've sent stuff to Dublin. I think it was Dublin.
I think Australia was the most expensive place to ship to.
But so I guess we'll do. Oh, so now I got to remember. It's been a while since we've used this. I got to remember how to use it. Oh, I need to go in there.
It's in the way that you use it.
I think I need to go there.
That's what she
And
said.
so I think we'll do.
You got a heater going? Is that the heater going?
Yeah, that's a wall heater. I gave you the review for that.
Yeah. It's like 70 degrees outside right now, and we have a heater going.
In here,
What's that?
it is 63 degrees.
Oh, snap. It's 84 in here. I was thinking about opening the doors and turning on a fan to get rid of some of this heat.
You should send Foss some of your extra heat. That way you guys would be comfortable.
We need heat tubes installed. Giant tubes for moving heat.
It is a balmy 35 here.
Like those things at the bank back in the day.
So I think
I'm used to a higher level of production.
well, like I said, it's been a while since I've done this one. So I got to remember how to do it.
That's what she said.
So, all right, I think I got it. All right. Let me move this over. So type hashtag throw in the comments to enter. Let's see if I did that right. Hashtag throw. Yeah, it looks like we got 2 people entered so far. Wood said it's 44 in Tacoma, where he's at. I'm not sure what the outside temperature is right now. 42. It's going to get down to 30. So we'll let that run and collect for a little bit. Make sure everybody who wants to enter gets a chance to enter. And barbecue. Why don't you tell everybody about 2A is Blind? So there we go. I put a link for 2A is Blind out there, so people can go over there and check it out. So what's wants me to draw? Are we ready to? Should I draw? Now I got to remember how to do it. It's been a while. So all right, let me see if this does it. Yeah. There we go. All right. The winner, Ozzy. Congratulations, Ozzy. And as long as your address has not changed, I'll get it mailed out to you sometime this week, probably early because I don't like waiting. Congratulations. Let me get back to. Stop it. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. All right. So congratulations, Ozzy. I will send these out and some stickers and other stuff I'll throw in with it. Maybe put it over there. Wood said Ozzy should make a scabbard. So, I had a question for the panel that I was thinking about earlier. For carry guns, for your carry guns, if you carry a gun, what are your determining factors as to why you chose that gun? Size, power, capacity, comfort. Why did you choose the gun that you carry? G-Whips.
I think all of those. So 5-shot 357 revolver works for everything that, like, whatever you'd say, like data suggests we might ever encounter. So power and size and concealability. It'd be ideal if it had 7 shots or something, but I'll deal with the 5 shots since none of us are ever going to use our guns. Pretty much, knock on wood. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Woods.
Barbecue?
First checkbox is not 9mm. Second is has a hammer. Third is preferably metal. And then, is it a 1911 or a revolver? Really, that's what it comes down to. Is it a 1911 or a revolver? Preferably, if it's a revolver, it'd be 44 Magnum. Because I might be overcompensating for stuff. Who knows?
Well, in reality, though, you live where there's trees and brush and stuff, so somebody
Yes.
grabs a kid or something and runs behind a tree, you're going to be like, oh, well, I guess I'll guess I'll deal with it. Or
I mean,
through the tree or whatever. But,
exactly.
realistically, through some foliage or behind a shed or something, I think that's not unreasonable. And then the situation where the person's just standing there, it's still effective, and it's not like it's turning them into mincemeat or something. And it's not like you're carrying something that weighs maybe half again as much as the smallest gun. It's it's not even doubling really the size most of the time to have a normal size 44. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
If Ruger made a 44, the thing is, I have a polymer revolver now. I took that leap because I don't mind, and I don't care about the hammer. I'd rather have no hammer on a revolver. So, for a carry revolver. But if they made a 44 5-shot, 6-shot ideally, that was a pocket revolver, hell yeah, I'd carry a 44. But I don't think that's overkill. Okay, yeah, it's overkill if it's like an 8-inch barrel. Gunswatters is saying, what's the length on your 44?
Well, even a quote unquote hammerless revolver indeed actually has a hammer.
Oh, that's a good point. It's an internal hammer, you're right.
Just, not spurless necessarily.
I mean, it's certainly made striker fire.
Yes.
How about you?
Well, I pretty much carry the same thing all the time, and that's because just the ease of carrying everything else. But I've put a lot of thought into it. I mean, and I carry a caliber which I deem is appropriate, and much like G Web's, it's a 5-shot revolver. It's not quite 357, but it's the next best thing. It's for us regular people. It's 38 special because I believe in holding on loosely. So
But don't let
Don't let
go.
go.
that's right. But that being said, they are plus P. So next best thing.
How close does plus P come to 357?
Obviously,
Well,
there's quite a bit of difference.
talking about energy downrange, it's just math. I'd rather have more mass downrange. So, 357.
Since I'm pocket carrying, I'd rather not have something any more bulky than it has to be in my pocket. That's why.
You could do like my 360. It's 5-shot 357. Fully loaded is under a pound. It's a wrist breaker, but when your adrenaline's pumping, you're not going to know the difference.
I just really like, and I've had mine to the range, so I know what to expect. It's got a nice Hogue Tamer grip on it, so it's easy to hold on to, and it's just really familiar to me. I've carried it over and over, and pretty confident with it. So that's really all you need. I mean, in a carry gun is something you can shoot that you will carry every day and that you're confident with.
I have been carrying, since I bought it, the Taurus TH40. Much like barbecue, I prefer to have a hammer, and I like about the compact size. I will carry like my PPK once in a while when I need, if I'm gonna have to take it off. I know, depending on where I'm going, because sometimes I'll pocket carry it. But for the most part, normally I'll carry the TH40. I'm thinking about switching back to the P30. They're both 40. The Because I bought it after the law was passed limiting to 10 rounds, it's only 10 rounds. The P30 is 13, and I don't know if I think that extra 3 rounds will really make a big enough difference to switch back to it. The TH40 is a little bit thinner, so it carries a little better than that P30 does. The P30 is a really nice gun, but I carry inside the waistband. I like the hammer. About compact size is my preferred, and there's a couple other guns I'll carry now and again, but because I'll even carry 9mm sometimes when I'm feeling saucy.
Sometimes it has to happen, unfortunately.
Or if you're feeling relatively safe and you don't think you need the defensive power of a real caliber, then it's okay to carry a 9.
Well, usually, because I had switched to where I was carrying that most of the time, and then when I got the TH40, I switched to that. But the CZ, the compact, is 17 rounds. So there were times where I would choose that because whatever where I was going, I just wanted more capacity, even though it's 9mm. X Adam 1 said capacity and comfort. Sergeant Joe Smith said 40 round mag. Mr. Knives said 38 Super shall rule them all. Woods, I'm talking about his SP10. Oops, come on. There we go. His SP. I bought it in 1993. It's good for pistol whipping. Walters said, I chose a copy of a Browning Vest pistol in 25 because it's about the size of a pack of cigarettes, and I carry it everywhere, and I work in a state where you can't carry. Vulcan Rumble, legal requirements, power, capacity, and weight. M. Gabriel said Model 69 is a 5-shot.
Yes, it is. I believe it's a. I'm trying to remember if it's a K or an L frame. I think it's a K frame. They're pretty much the same.
Mr. Knives said Snubby Smith & Wesson 500. I do want one of those.
Damn. It's just
That'd be awesome.
Asking for punishment there.
I wanted one for quite a while.
You would.
Knives is a man after my own heart.
Recoil junkie.
It's a 38 Special, has been getting it done since 1898. M. Gabriel with 327 Federal Magnum, you can get 5 shots in an otherwise 4-shot revolver. What were you saying, Gizzard?
I was going to say something silly. It can pass.
Walters said 38 Special with wad cutter is devastating at close range. The Minuteman ammo in Washington, they were making a double wad cutter for a while. There's 2 wad cutter bullets, and I'm not sure why they did it, but Guns and Water said 640 recoil, ain't bad at all stainless steel. And I don't know if I might have missed you earlier, Guns and Water. I don't know if I said good evening, but good evening. And Ozzy, I've been carrying my CZ75 P01 or 6 SIG P365. Walter said, mag capacity is really important. My son is a cop and keeps a couple 30-round Glock bags for a shootout, and he has used them.
Well, the thing is, so I've had this conversation with guys that would work security, things like that. And they say, well, why is it that we get to do this or that? When you're working in law enforcement, you're putting yourself in a higher likelihood to come into those scenarios. for the average everyday person, like if you feel the need to carry 30 round stick mag, like I support you, right? I would wonder what the hell you're planning on running into. That you are carrying a 30 round stick mag or multiple. But in the aspect of a police officer, I could understand why he might keep a couple of those in the cruiser, because the likelihood of him or her ever running into a situation like that much more likely, because they're asked to potentially go into those situations. As an average everyday person, I like to remind people, like, vast majority of self defenses with a firearm never involve a shot being fired. Like, so much so that we can only estimate, what, somewhere between 500,000 to 6 million instances per year, because a lot of them don't get reported. Then after that, you look at averages of a shot being fired, and it's usually 3 to 4 shots fired on average. Obviously, averages can be one shot. It could also be 10, 15, 20, who knows? But at the end of the day, the average is 3 to 4. So if you feel the need where it's like, I need to carry a couple 30 round stick mags because capacity is everything, it's like, what the hell are you planning on running into?
So I was traveling on 9/11. So people don't remember back then, but the world shut down because everybody freaked out.
Yep.
And uh, anyway, long story short is since then, uh, I'm carrying because you don't always just get to come home right away. Like plans change. So I I hear what you're saying, but I more than condone the right or like, whatever. I'm like, I'm down for whatever. If you want to pack for bear, I don't care. Go for it. Um, one, there's more than one person in the world. So bad
Yep.
guys don't come at you one at a time because they got nothing else to do and they like a fair fight. But then, uh, as much as people love to, especially people who get paid to say controversial shit. I mean, not you, but the most of the people who bring up that point
I
about
wish I got paid for it.
yeah, 3 rounds or whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't carry for the average what might happen or what's the most likely. I
Yep.
carry for the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is a bunch of people invade a mall and you're in some kind of action movie trying to figure out how to get out, save a bunch of nuns and orphans while you're doing it. So call me unrealistic all you want, but what does it take? What what really difference is there if you're carrying a gun already to carry a couple extra mags, a couple extra
Well,
reloads, then carry that gun? I mean,
I think
it's
it's one
negligible.
thing if you carry them in your vehicle, but these people that are carrying them around on their person, like,
Yeah,
because
it's on them. It's on them. Like if that's their thing. Like I know
I
people that
I said
carry
that at
like
the beginning of my statement.
I
I said that at the
no,
beginning of my statement. Like,
I
I
hear you.
support their right and everything, but
I'm
also,
more than
like, if we're gonna sit here and say, hey, we're trying to, bring awareness and normalcy and whatnot back to firearms, like, we still have to look at optics too. Like, at the end of the day, it, carrying around
hold
60,
on.
90
I hear you.
rounds.
But a person who's let's call it paranoid
I
or let's
mean,
call it like over
think about how
prepared.
much shit I catch over open carrying.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So you're
It,
going to
you
give
know,
anybody any kind of resistance for carrying a bunch of shit? I don't think that's necessary. Carry as much shit as you want. Be weird, like be the extreme,
yep.
because I think that the optics of a little prissy person who's like, "Oh, I'm scared of guns, but I carry one anyway, and I got the lightest, tiniest little gun, and it qualifies as a gun, so I'm carrying a gun." Or I bought this paint gun thing that looks like a gun, and it's orange or whatever, and I think it's still a gun. Like that's just the same. It's different optics, but it's the same. Like, dang, I wish gun people were just all normal, like kind of consistent. We're all like capable and we're not weird about it. But if people want to go around with their pinky out and be weird about, oh, I like guns, but I hate guns and I don't want to carry a gun, but I'll carry a gun. I don't want to kill anybody, but I'll kill somebody. Like, go for it. Be weird like that. Or, be
Mhm.
inconsistent like that, I guess is a better word than saying weird, because like they can do whatever they want. But I'm just saying the optics there, like I'm not going to tell that person they can't carry. Like carry
Yeah.
if you're apprehensive and weird about it. But at the same time, I guess I just also know a bunch of people that are like, I'm going to carry 6 guns and 4 mags for each gun, and a backup to a backup, and I'm going to carry extra knives, and I don't want to care. Like it's too much for me to carry, but it's like a thing that you want to do. Like I don't care. And if the optics of it, fuck you. The optics of it is like, what about people that have a shit ton of keys on their key ring? Nobody gives them shit. What about people that like put a bunch of like shit on their hat? Like I don't care. Like Foss just has a regular hat. I've seen people with like metal shit hanging off their hat, like their sunglasses attached to their hat. Like I don't care. Like go fucking do your thing. Like nobody's giving hat people an issue because some hat people, you know what I mean? Like if we as gun owners have to get past like the bad perception, in my opinion, like who cares? Like that's why I make fun of 9mm. Like we should be able to deal with anybody doing whatever the fuck they want with guns, because we don't get a black eye. Like criminals shouldn't be giving us a black eye, so neither should a weirdo who's paranoid or whatever you want to call, like more than a prepper. Like I'm not worried about that person. They just like guns, or they like holsters, or they like carrying a bunch of stuff. It's their way of like wearing roller skates or a big orange wig. It's like their way of getting people to stare at them. It's probably offended. But anyway, I'm going off on tangent.
Ozzy said, I've been known to carry my Seacamp 32 ACP or the Bodyguard 2.0, a Zippy 9898, Kimber K6S. That's one where I go back and forth between I really like the way it looks and sometimes I think it's ugly. I don't know. Oops, I'm not sure why that happens. And the Saint said it's called flare. You're required to wear 5 pieces of flare. So you want me to wear more flare?
What if you're carrying a flare gun? That's not the same thing.
You have to carry 5. Or maybe 5 flares count.
And I happen, I was looking at the death rates for 2022 because that's the CDC. That's their published numbers where I guess they've finished their totals. So
I figure in about 20 minutes I'm going to do that chocolate giveaway. Just for FYI. Oh, good night, Mr. Knives. Have a good night.
Oh, good night. So can you guess what the top 10 leading causes of death in the U.S. are?
Heart disease.
Heart
That-
stop
Heart-
beating. That's generally always
Heart
what
disease is number 1.
Cancer.
Then being
Hang
fat.
on, so heart disease is 702,000 people every year. Well, in 2022.
You know what? When I hear a number like that, I get concerned about the guns. Guns concern me when I hear that number.
Well, yeah, there's a point to this, but so can you guess what number 2 is?
Cancer.
Being
Cancer. Are you looking at you looking at the
No.
list?
No, I just know these.
Cancer
Oh,
is 608,371. What's number 3?
crotch rot.
Fat. Cigarettes.
Accidents.
I was going to say, I thought it was car accidents.
Unintentional injuries, 227,000.
Oh, it's actually specified like that.
No, fentanyl's like 100,000, so we're not down to fentanyl yet.
So number 4 is something more recent.
COVID.
It's COVID. 186,552.
I'm good at this.
Number 5.
When I hear a number like that, I'm concerned about guns. Is that
Can you
fentanyl?
guess?
Opioids.
Clowns.
Stroke.
Oh, damn it.
165,393.
How many people have a stroke? Fentanyl, though.
Number 6.
Fentanyl.
Chronic lower respiratory disease. 147,382. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 7, Alzheimer's, 120,122.
I forgot that one.
I didn't know that kills people. I mean, I know you die from it. I mean, I know you get it, but I didn't know you die from it.
Number 8 is diabetes, 101,000. Diabetes.
I really would have thought that would be higher for whatever reason.
Number 9,
Fentanyl yet? I mean, it seems like we're getting into those numbers.
Car accidents.
nephritis,
You already said
nephrotic syndrome, or nephrosis.
what is that? Being dead? Dying from being dead?
Actually not sure. 57,973.
Well, they whip right past fentanyl. Fentanyl's supposed to be like 70 to 100,000 every year.
It's kidney disease. Number 10. Any guesses on number 10?
AIDS.
It ain't guns.
Broken neck.
Chronic liver disease and cirrhosis, 54,000.
When I hear a number like that, I'm concerned about guns.
Guns come in. I'm not sure where, because I was kind of looking at this just before the chat started, so I was not able to find where on number wise, but gun related deaths come in at 48,000 and some. And then half, trying to remember what percentage of those was self-inflicted. I think they had it at 56%, and then 42% were homicides. So yeah. Mr. Bob said nephrosis is a group of symptoms caused by kidney damage that allows protein to leak into the urine.
How many of those? I didn't really keep track. Like you're looking at the list. Like, how many of those are associated with aging? You know, just being old, and that's the way you check out. Versus like bad lifestyle habits or like accidents, like where you can't help it, you just live in a dangerous place or something.
I guess I could have shown the list. Well, I can show the list here. But that's the top 10 leading causes.
I mean, overall, it's everybody hates to think about death or whatever, but except for a disease, most of our death is from being old and eating poorly.
And, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just, I'm minimizing deaths of people. That's not the point of this. It's just to show the hysteria in the propaganda about gun deaths.
Well, they'll suddenly throw in preventable, and then you can erase all the aging issues, right? Like if you put in preventable, you can even technically have an argument about food being taken off of it for preventable. Some people will say, oh, you can't help, whatever you eat or whatever. And other people will say that that's a preventable one. But if you pull the food and the aging ones, all of a sudden of preventable causes of death, it's only competing with accidents. Guns are only competing with accidents. And it's always lame when you have a country that's huge. We're not the biggest country or nothing, but we're not tiny by any means. And they'll take our number of accidents per year, which is it's massive. We have 300 billion people or 300 million people and whatever. So there's going to be a lot of accidents no matter what. Unless you make everything Nerf, we're going to have accidents. I noticed that bracketing has no significant number of deaths each year.
Well, it's I forget how you it's not the cause, but it's
Like a factor, an
yeah,
influencing factor.
contributing factor. So you fall down the stairs,
The bracket
and
didn't kill him. The bracket falling on him killed him.
well, he was looking at the bracket and not paying attention, fell down the stairs. Or
He spent
driving
all his attention on the bracket, and his wife killed him. So therefore, the bracket killed him.
driving in heavy traffic, thinking about the bracket, not paying attention to the roadway. That's why I am a huge advocate for responsible bracketry. Yeah, I had more of a point to this, but now I completely lost what the point was, because it was, like I said, I was looking at stuff before the chat, and then got me thinking about things.
Did somebody say something like guns are so horrible, or guns are the biggest cause of death, or some shit?
No, I saw it was I don't know if it was an article by the Rand Group Corporation, whatever there, and they were talking about how gun control, the positive effects of gun control, and so I decided to go look at the numbers, and then I read their, and it was nice that they put some of the criteria that they were using when looking at these different studies, but they didn't explain what those criteria were. They just said, kind of said, we looked at all these studies and we threw some of them out because of this or that. But the problem with statistical data is numbers don't lie, but the people collating the numbers do.
Yeah,
Or
people
can.
interpreting them do.
Yeah. So, if there's a study, how was the study set up? What did they study? If it's a poll, who did they poll? There's a lot of variables that can skew the outcome, and then even with the outcome that you get, how you interpret what that outcome means can affect. Gary said 1 out of 3 statistics are inaccurate. And Gabriel said RAND is a relatively nonpartisan research organization. I'm not. I don't know. I have heard the name in the past, and I don't think I have their page open still. But from their kind of their, I don't know if it was their mission statement, but kind of led me to believe they might be skewed a little bit. To look at some of their other gun research. Wood said they controlled for blank. You have to say what blank is. I know that I don't know if it's the same group, but sponsors a lot of PBS. But it might. I don't know if it's the same group. They just might have the similar names. But let me get that cut. There we go. Gary said the leading cause of divorce is marriage.
No, leading cause of divorce is husband's coming home early.
Well, Gary's experienced in that field.
Say, I'm a subject matter expert here, so.
Vulcan Rumble said there are 3 types of lies. There are lies, there are damn lies, and there are statistics. Well, G-Webs.
We're starting that bracket up. All right.
I don't know. Should we do? I do have a bracket ready to go.
I mean,
We got 4 people in barbecues awake.
I won't. It's not quite completely ready because I don't have the bracket filled out. We can do that together.
ooh,
Give me just a second. I gotta find where I put it. Nope, it's not there.
Is it chocolate bracket, or is it a chocolate covered bracket? Or there's a chocolate.
Oh, I think it's there. It is. So it. Oh. Uh-oh.
That's kind of bacon.
Oh, I guess I can get rid of that.
Let's get it on!
Ooh,
So-
international audience. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Look at the time. It's like 3 a.m. there.
Oops. Switch over to tournament.
That just proves that wherever you are in the world, if you can't sleep, you should be watching the overnight.
This is the morning show in Japan.
So I've got a. What's the best bacon delivery system?
Bracket.
interesting. Pig.
So we've got.
We need a pig on there.
BLT.
I could win right there.
Burger. That could
What?
be cheeseburger.
Oh,
cheeseburger. But he's talking about me.
In honor of Rob D, salad.
Salad. Bacon wrapped. Filet mignon. Oops.
Oh, I thought you were going to say jalapeno popper.
Yeah,
Big
me
Dom.
too. But that's a good
Jalapeno
one.
popper.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do they wrap it around? That's like a scallop or some shit. I've never ate that, but I've seen that done.
I don't have that on my list.
Omelet? That's a good one.
Club sandwich.
Ugh.
But hold on, because it's a delivery system for the bacon.
Right.
To get
But
the bacon.
if the bacon's wrapped around something, the bacon is then the delivery system.
No,
which
it'd
would
be like
negate-
you riding. If you're riding on top of a bus, it's still taking you to where you want to go.
Yes, but if I'm carrying the bus,
It's not carrying the bus. It's wrapped around the filet mignon.
I'm
So
talking about
it's-
wrapped around the jalapeno popper.
Well, you're still eating the popper. It just has bacon on it. It's not
it's like a paint job.
with a jalapeno popper on it.
Your car is not driving your paint job. Or the paint job is not driving your car. The paint job is on the car, which is moving.
Oh, there you go. So you already have a list. You're not asking
Yes.
for. Okay.
Ooh, hot dog wrapped in bacon. I have never tried that, but
It's pretty bitchin'.
I would.
Sorry, it made me
Mac
say
and cheese.
big boy word.
Mm.
What does that say? Coke sandwich? Oh, club sandwich.
Yeah, club sandwich. Potato.
So do you have to
Chowder.
join an organization to eat a club sandwich?
Yep. If you're not a member, you're not eating it.
Oh, damn it.
I think that's where it came from, right? Like country clubs or something.
That or whatever meat in there was obtained by a club, one or the other.
Potato chowder.
Yep. Bacon potato chowder. Quiche Laurent.
Real men don't eat quiche.
I eat quiche all the time. You can disagree with me, but this sissy boy will kick your ass.
I've eaten quiche. It's good.
It's just a fluffy omelet. I don't like fluffy.
Pretty much.
It's like egg pie.
Mm-hmm. Never had it made by anybody named Lorraine, but that's okay.
It has broccoli in it.
Oh. Now, Canadian bacon does not count as far
No.
as bacon pizza, right?
No, of course not.
Breakfast burrito count?
I've got bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Well, it's different than a burrito.
Yep, it's different.
Donut.
No,
You say no? It's like the most amazing thing I ever had.
it is not.
Oh my god! Let's say I will have to purchase some and then bring them to Thunder on the Prairie.
There's no more Thunder on the Prairie.
Oh, did it get canceled?
Or no, I was thinking it got canceled. It just got moved on.
It got deferred to the fall, yes.
Deviled eggs. Where's that coming from? Who's eating bacon?
Who's
with
putting
deviled
bacon
eggs?
in deviled egg? Not that I'm opposed to it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I'm
you-
not.
you-
It sounds
you chop it up.
interesting.
Really fine, and then just sprinkle it on top.
ooh,
Really?
gotta try
Yep.
it. Gotta
Never
try
heard
it.
of
I can't imagine it being bad.
Bacon cheddar biscuit?
Never heard of that.
Oh,
It's,
no. You mean like bacon bits chopped into a cheese biscuit?
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
One of the restaurant chains.
Was it Red Lobster?
Red Lobster. Yeah, theirs are really good.
I'm so sad. I think I ate that before, but I don't remember. It was a long time ago. There could be a whole thing of everything he's missed.
These are the things that I thought of at the time when I was thinking of them, and I'm missing one.
Ice cream.
No,
How about my popcorn popped in bacon grease? Does that count?
no.
It's good. Yes, you
Deep
can.
fried.
Yes, you
Deep
can
fryer?
put popcorn in
I
bacon
still think-
grease.
Pig should be on the list because without pigs, we wouldn't have bacon. Pork belly. That's just a giant slab of bacon.
We got to be missing something obvious.
I'm missing something.
Just plain old
Chocolate?
bacon and eggs on that list.
Well, the problem is the bacon is separate. I mean,
Not necessarily.
You can mix them together, and I had thought about that, but that's not.
What about chocolate?
No.
That falls under candied bacon, I think.
I don't.
Hey, Brooke is out there.
What?
You ever
It's way past
have,
her bedtime. What's she doing?
You ever have bacon flavored sunflower seeds? They're good.
You don't have.
need
You
one-
do have a hamburger on there, a bacon hamburger.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got burger.
it's on there.
You got a bacon pizza.
Bacon just improves a hamburger.
M. Gabriel said bacon wrapped scallop, and the Saint said omelet.
What about putting it on like spinach salad People put bacon on spinach salad sometimes.
I feel like
Oh, we've
omelet's a
got
good option.
salad.
I got salad
Oh,
on there. It's
okay.
kind of encompassing. Do they
We
have
don't have
bacon ice
burrito on
cream?
You still don't have a bacon burrito in there. And does a bacon at a buffet count when you can just have as much bacon as you want?
Well, this is more. It has to be a part of something else, not just
Yeah,
separate.
part of a buffet. You go in there and
No,
you get
that,
like a
that
whole
wouldn't
plate of
count.
He doesn't believe in breakfast burritos.
I got chocolate covered bacon at Shot one time, and it's like comes in a thing like a candy bar would, and they only sell it during the winter so that it doesn't melt.
Beans. Yeah.
Oh, baked beans. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
baked
Oh.
beans. Yes.
All right, we'll go with that.
Although sometimes it's just a big chunk of bacon fat in there, which is pretty gross.
All right, so and I think to answer Brooke, it's not a poll, it's a bracket. So it's a kind of like a basketball, March Madness kind of bracket.
So you'll have 4 different number ones in different regionals.
No, I think Brooke was asking about your poll about bacon earlier, where you had an option for don't like. Like, what were you thinking? Who's going to choose that?
So, all right, the first
off
we
the
got
bat,
biscuit against biscuit. Bacon cheddar biscuit against the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
You could say it's a battle of the bacon biscuits.
Yes. G-Whips.
So bacon cheddar biscuit is just some kind of biscuit with bacon in it, where a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit is, that can be one of the most satisfying things you can possibly eat on the planet Earth. So I'm going to go with the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, which I could almost see winning this entire thing. I haven't decided who's going to win the whole thing, but that one I could almost see carrying it all the way to the end.
Barbecue.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Gizzard.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for the win.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Yeah, I will have to say bacon, egg, and cheese. I prefer sausage, egg, and cheese over the bacon, egg, and cheese.
Wow.
Is there a
pick for the win.
And but the bacon cheddar biscuits are really good, I think.
They are good.
And you can buy the mix at the stores.
What if you took a bacon cheddar biscuit, cut it in half, and made a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit out of that?
You could do that.
Ooh.
It's not on the list.
Speaking of that, is there a baked potato on the list?
Oh, yeah.
That's another big bacon thing.
No, we can. Why don't we replace the potato chowder with the baked potato?
I'm good with that.
Definitely the same theme, right? Although now I kind of want some potato soup.
So now we've got the bacon wrapped jalapeno popper.
Or jalapeno popper in this case.
Oh, yeah. Against the filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
Me? I'm going to say poppers all day long over the other thing.
Jalapeno poppers. Barbecue.
I'm going to have to go with jalapeno poppers. I'm not bougie enough to afford filet mignon.
Where's filet mignon from? Shoulder or the butt?
France. Oh.
The filet.
Yeah, no. Where's that? The top or the butt? Is that backstrap?
Yeah, I was going to say it's...
Because on a real animal like backstrap would be what you want. So I'm assuming filet mignon is that, but it can also be some butt thing. People like eating butt.
It's in a weird area. Like when you get a T-bone or a porterhouse, half of that is New York strip, the other half is filet.
According to Google, it comes from the tenderloin. So.
That's what I thought, but I'm trying to picture it in my head because, like I said, there's a filet on one half of the T-bones and porterhouses.
Isn't that a ribeye? New York strip and a ribeye make a T-bone? I don't know. I don't have a clue.
All right, I looked at a picture, and it's coming from essentially the kidneys, like over the kidneys. It's like in front of the hip, so behind the rib, in front of the hip.
In between the sirloin and the top sirloin.
So Gary, what are you going with?
In an ideal world, I'd have both, but since that wasn't offered to me, I'll go with the jalapeno poppers.
Like first course, poppers, second course.
Well, if you could have the steak and then poppers on the side, that'd be a great meal.
Oh, there you go.
Sergeant Joe Smith said filet. Ozzy said popper. X Adam 1 said number 3. I'm going to say you're all wrong because bacon wrapped filet is really good. I'm lucky though. I have a friend who's in Omaha, and every year he sends me a bunch of Omaha steaks. And there's usually bacon wrapped filet in there.
Is the deal because the filet doesn't have a lot of fat in it, so you put the bacon on there to have fat?
I don't know.
I don't know. Filet mignon always has bacon wrapped around it, usually. It's good.
So now we've got bacon carbonara against the club sandwich.
What is that?
Pasta. Creamy pasta.
With Alfredo sauce?
G-Webs?
I'm going to eat the club sandwich. I'm picking the club sandwich, but it's going to lose to a BLT, and I'm also picking off whatever gross shit is on there besides just the BLT. And I've never eaten bacon carbonara, but I just don't like paying for pasta. Pasta seems like what you cook at home, so I don't like going out and eating it, but I've never eaten that. I also don't like the white sauces, so it'd have to be pretty awesome for me to want to eat the white sauce. So I probably could have left this to the audience, I think. I don't like either one of these.
X Adam 1 is accusing me of being rich. I am not rich. Ozzy said he prints ads for
filet mignon for lunch
steaks.
like 2 or 3 times a week. I'm not that rich.
I will say Omaha steaks are really good steaks. They come to you in the mail, packed with dry ice, and they're really good steaks.
All right, I looked at pictures for bacon carbonara or whatever, and there's not one of these pictures has enough bacon in it, so there's no possible way I'm ordering that. It's imagine if you ordered a big plate of empty spaghetti or whatever this noodle is, and then they just sprinkled on a little bit of bacon. There's no way this is enough bacon for anybody in the United States.
Barbecue, bacon carbonara or club sandwich?
I don't think bacon carbonara can be a real thing. Like if you ask the Italian chef, they would have a freaking aneurysm at doing something like that. So just because I feel like bacon carbonara is fake, call it something else. I'm gonna have to go with the club sandwich.
Well, pretty much
creamy noodles, and they accidentally put bacon bits on it. They're like, no, I did that on purpose. It's called bacon carbonara.
By that standard, most of the food in the U.S. will not qualify
Yeah, I
because
just don't want to make
it's not being
Italian chefs mad.
authentic. Oh, Gary.
Club.
Club. Oh, X Adam 1 said club sandwich, number 6. Brooks said carbonara is one of my favorites. It's linguine.
Hmm.
Ozzy said club. X Adam 1 said, please come home. I got cheese and bologna. I'm going to say I do like bacon carbonara, but I really like a good club sandwich.
You ever have macaroni and cheese with bacon in it? It's pretty good.
Well, that's coming up next. Salad, bacon topped salad topped bacon against bacon mac and cheese. G-Webs.
This is actually pretty tough ones, but I'm gonna go with salad. I'd probably be the only one voting for it.
One for the salad.
And I'm not
And
saying
Guns
it's
and
right,
Water
though.
said club.
And you could definitely make a bacon salad horribly wrong. Like it could really get bad, but I'm gonna vote for it anyway.
Barbecue.
Definitely bacon mac and cheese.
Bacon mac and cheese. Gary.
Got to go with mac and cheese on this one.
Mac and cheese. Sergeant Joe Smith said mac and cheese. There's a smokehouse that does smoked mac and cheese, which is good, but they do a smoked bacon mac and cheese, which is really good. The only problem is it's really expensive. It's for it's heavy. It's really dense. I'm not sure what the size is, but I think it's like $12 for kind of a little larger than a meatloaf pan of mac and cheese with bacon in it, but it is really,
Larger
really
than a
good.
meatloaf pan.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cheese.
And it's not, I'm not sure it's not like a cheddar cheese. I don't know if it's a white, like a Vermont cheddar or something like that. So it tastes different than like the Stouffer's mac and cheese. But I'm gonna say mac and cheese. Guns and Water said Thousand Island dressing with lots of bacon. X Adam 1 said salad. Not a fan of putting anything on my mac and cheese.
Oh, they're probably talking about putting bacon in the mac and cheese, right? You're not talking about sprinkling a little bit on top.
No, mixed in there.
My problem is I'm not a big fan of like when bacon gets mixed into a wet food and it kind of can get whatever you call it, like wet, I guess. Or like, it's not crispy anymore for sure. So that could be an issue sometimes. Like in a potato salad where it's going to be sitting in a refrigerator for a long time, just being, not crispy anymore. It's not really, it's like it almost gets uncooked. I don't know.
You're rehydrating the meat.
Yeah, like it's like chewy in there. Like I'm not a big fan of that sometimes.
So now we've got baked potato against bacon burger. G-Webs.
Let me think. I think I'll go with the bacon potato.
Baked potato. Potato. Barbecue.
Bacon burger.
Bacon burger. Gary.
Well, in honor of Guns and Barbecue, I almost have to say burger here.
Burger.
My unborn child thanks you.
Ozzy said burger. Sergeant Joe Smith said burger. Brooke said burger. X Adam 1, I can have a burger without bacon, but I can't have a baked potato without bacon.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
I'm going to say burger.
Like you could eat a, like a BLT, but you're not going to eat a BLT without the B, right? Nobody's eating a lettuce and tomato sandwich, really.
That's an interesting point. But I used to like baked potatoes a lot more when I was younger. I would make them. I couldn't even tell you the last time I had a baked potato.
Well, nowadays their deal is to take a chicken and cook it whole and have that every fucking where in every restaurant, or I mean every grocery store you go to. There's like fucking cooked chickens everywhere. For a while there, was it the 80s or the 90s? I forget when, but for a while there, it was like baked potatoes everywhere. You'd go somewhere and there'd be like, hot baked potatoes sitting there that
Yeah.
you get them and then put whatever fixings and shit, like a salad bar. They quit doing that, but like, if they were easier to get, I think people would be eating the shit out of potatoes. It's probably once Bill Gates started buying all the potatoes off farms. He's like, this is how you will eat potatoes at McDonald's, and that's it. He shut
Guns
down all
Water said baked potatoes, stick of butter, a cup of bacon.
Have you ever seen the food stuff on Instagram? Does anybody go on Instagram and look at the food stuff?
Not really.
It's like a whole piece of Instagram. And not so much the people eating. I don't care about people eating it, but they'll have like, there's sometimes it's point of view of somebody serving from like a food truck, but sometimes it's people just going up to food trucks or street food and watching the street people, or whatever you call it, like street food people make their shit in front of you. And, because half of it's the watching the person make the food. And there's a couple of them that are baked potato. Like it must be a cultural thing. Like some countries, you go up to a food truck and it's like a baked potato and you just tell them what kind of stuff you want on it. But, it's like eating a burger. Like it must be a pretty common thing. So like in that situation, I think whoever said that, Gunswater said stick of butter. That's what they'll do, is they'll take like a big giant scoop of butter and put it on a potato where it's like 2/3 the weight of the potato's worth of butter, and then start putting chili and all kinds of other like savory stuff into
Do
the
you
potato.
put sour cream on your baked potato?
Yes.
I'm in the mood. Not always. It doesn't like a necessity. Because once he said stick of butter and a pound of bacon or something, like that's all I'm thinking about is it one of them giant baked potatoes and somebody putting a giant thing of butter on there.
A loaf of
That sounds
bread,
pretty good.
a quart of milk, and a stick of butter.
Ugh,
Gary
no.
should get that.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Some
Sesame
TV show?
Street
Oh,
in
it's
the
kind of right.
70s. Little girl, her mom sends her to the store and tells her to get a loaf of bread, a quart of milk, and a stick of butter. So she repeats that over and over as she's walking to the store.
Oh, okay. And then orders the wrong thing or what?
What's that?
Where can you buy just one stick of butter?
You used to be able to buy a stick of butter.
Oh, I bought a
You
stick
can-
of butter the other day. I wanted to buy that one. What's that butter everybody likes? That's Irish butter or something that everybody says is so good. So I seen that at the store and you could buy one stick of it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna try
Irish
that.
Gold.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was a Walmart, so it was
Yeah,
everywhere.
my grandma would open up the packs of butter to take one stick out to buy it.
I think it was
When I
like
was
about
little.
25 for one stick. I thought it was kind of a rip-off, but it was good butter. Kerrygold. That's what it was. Is that what you said?
X Adam once said she is stopped and distracted on the way to the store, wasn't she? I think she was. I think she forgot. Oh, Kerrygold, not Irish Gold.
So she ended up getting a stick of bread and a loaf of butter, or got them confused.
I don't remember exactly. It was a long time ago, but I remember that loaf of bread, quart of milk, and a stick of butter.
I think I do kind of remember this now. It was a puppet.
No, it was animated.
Oh, then I don't remember.
Because that, and then take the Ann, put it in the van, and give it to Stan.
Stan the man.
I think it was a golden Ann. But now we've got candied bacon up against a BLT. G-Webs.
BLT being a very satisfying sandwich, hearty, satisfying sandwich. Could be made wrong, so it could be a horrible experience. But candied bacon, I got no interest in that. Like, I would easily pass candied bacon, so BLT for me.
BLT. Barbecue.
BLT.
2 for Bluth. Gary.
BLT, 100%. Final answer.
BLT. Sergeant Joe Smith said BLT.
Is candied bacon like where you take brown sugar and like cook it
Yeah.
in brown sugar?
Yeah. I don't like it.
I went to a place that was it's called like Oink, I think, and it's just all bacon stuff or pig stuff, I guess. But they have a thing where you get like a board, a piece of wood with different kind of bacons on it. I think 4 or 6, and that's where I've had that, and I was like, nah, not interested.
I'm going to say BLT also. I like a BLT. Oh, and for the like maple bar with bacon on it, when I had it, my first thought was, in no way does this bacon add to this maple bar.
No. Other than you can take it off and eat a piece of bacon that has sugar on it, I guess, and then eat a donut after that or whatever.
Mr. Bob said the Crown Candy Kitchen makes BLTs with half a pound of Oscar Mayer bacon.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Oh no, I did get a BLT at dang it. Is it Omar's? What's the name of that place? The place in Tulsa. But their BLT is surprisingly not that much bacon on it. It's not like their bacon.
Hugo's.
Yeah, like Hugo's doesn't have the same amount of bacon on their BLT. I got a BLT one time for lunch there. I actually bought breakfast there and then bought a BLT to take with, to take to the show. And it was almost like a normal BLT. It wasn't, I mean, like, I've been to restaurants with way more bacon on it. It wasn't like the breakfast bacon. Just FYI for anybody that goes to Tulsa.
Oh, there we go. So now we've got deviled eggs against baked beans. G-Webs.
Oh my God. Can you imagine somebody eating that for lunch and then having to sit in a pickup truck with them on lunch?
That'd be
all there was at the store was baked beans and deviled eggs. What do you want? I'll take a handful of both. Like, oh,
I don't know where we're going, but
style experience.
Man, I don't know. I'm not eating no deviled eggs, I don't think. Like, maybe if my grandma made them, but there's too much going on there that I'm not trusting anybody putting all that stuff into an egg and I'm eating it. So I guess, and I'm not a big fan of baked beans because of all the ways to eat bacon, of all the bad bacon I've ever eaten in my life. I'd say 80% of it is because it was some gross chunk of something in a baked beans. But I'm leaving this to the audience. I'm leaving them to this decision.
So G-Webs is giving the audience a vote, so make sure you vote because your vote counts. So barbecue.
Baked beans or the deviled eggs?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Deviled eggs.
That randomizer really did a good job of randomizing this one.
Deviled eggs.
That's a pick.
Gary.
Deviled eggs.
2 for deviled eggs.
Is this because you guys like deviled eggs or because you don't like baked beans?
Yes. No, I love baked beans, and like there's beans that I make that are killer, but I don't put bacon in them. I put pulled pork in them. So deviled eggs are good, but they're next level when you add bacon.
There's no way I'm eating it, but that pulled pork and baked beans sounds way better than, like I say, I'm scared of the big chunk of fat that you get or the, like, whatever you call that rehydrated bacon that you get in baked beans. Ugh.
Well, I've made navy beans before with bacon. It's just not as good as if you use a big chunk of pork in there. Ham hocks work really well.
Yeah, that's what everybody used, right?
XM1 said baked beans. Sergeant Joe Smith said beans.
Beans is taking it.
Roy said beans. So I think beans will. The Saint beans, Ozzy beans. So G-Web's vote is for beans. I'm going to say deviled eggs because I like deviled eggs and I do not like baked beans.
I like my grandma's deviled eggs, but I've never had another deviled egg like that. They always put too much effort into them.
Mr. Bob said bean me up, Scotty.
Budget eggs. Roll call taking a trip to Tulsa with only baked beans and deviled eggs.
Could be entertaining.
So now we've got bacon pizza against quiche Lorraine. Quiche Lorraine.
Think of a thin crust pizza that's well done with, I'm going to go with extra sauce and add cheddar cheese in addition to the regular cheese. Add cheddar cheese and extra, like 3 times extra bacon. And that's what I'm thinking of when I hear bacon pizza. So, bacon pizza.
One for bacon pizza.
Square cut thin crust.
Barbecue.
So it's pizza or what?
Quiche.
I don't even know what the hell a quiche is. We'll go with pizza. Again, that's bougie people food. Quiche. What the heck?
You take egg and you whip the shit out of it, like almost like a meringue, right? And then you put it in a pie pan and you bake it, and it turns into like a really fluffy.
Yeah, but then like you have to worry about it collapsing and stuff, right?
It's
I think
not,
so, right? Because
no,
people are always worried about that in the movies.
no. That's a souffle. That's different.
Oh, souffle, yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm conflating the two.
Gary?
Well, Casey's actually sells a breakfast pizza, and you can get it in either sausage or bacon. So I've had bacon pizza. So I'm going with the bacon pizza,
Bacon pizza.
which is basically a quiche Lorraine with a crust. You don't look at it that way. And gravy.
Sergeant Joe Smith said chicken bacon ranch pizza.
Oh, so a quiche isn't in a pie shell; it's just in a pie pan. There's just egg. There's no pie
No, there's
crust.
a pie shell.
Oh, okay, because I thought there was a pie crust.
Just a bottom shell, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah.
Is it, yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
X Adam 1 said pizza. The Saint said egg pie. Guns and Water said quiche will make you lisp. I have a lisp. It was really bad when I was a kid.
Because you're eating a shit ton of quiche back then.
I love quiche. I make it all. Well, I don't make it as much as I used to, but I used to make it at least once a month. I would make usually make 2 because the pie shells, the frozen pie shells, come in 2.
So raw pie shell, or you cook it first?
I don't cook them first. You can, and it makes it a little bit better, but not. It's not a big enough difference to me to pre-cook the pie shells. But I would make one with bacon and one with ham, and I would either be broccoli with one of them and ham with the other. Kind of switch it around every time I make it. But I am a huge fan of quiche. I really like quiche.
How many eggs are in a pie?
3.
Like what? Don't
3
only 3 eggs in a whole thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I would have figured like 8 or something.
No. Because I'll use 6 eggs for the 2, and that'll fill that pie shell. Eggs, heavy whipping cream, salt, pepper, and then I'll kind of each time I make it, I'll make it just a little bit different. basically, I'm chasing the first quiche that I ever had, which was the best quiche I ever had. Was the lunchroom at the Bank of America building in downtown Seattle, and I've never been able to achieve that quiche. That was the chef's. They had a chef for the lunchroom, and that was one of his specialties was quiche. That's
Sometimes it's the apparatus, like sometimes like the pizza or whatever. It's because of the heat of the oven or the
yeah.
quickness of the cook or something. Like sometimes it's the process that you can't catch.
That's possible, but I am a big fan of quiche. It's super easy to make, and I think it tastes very good. So I'm gonna say quiche, but bacon pizza is gonna move on.
What if instead of doing Gorn, you did Born, and it was bacon pictures?
Born to be Wild.
So now we've got the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit against the jalapeno poppers.
Not even close. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I kind of want one of those. Dang it! It's 1:00 in the morning.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
I think is Carl's Jr. open 24/7? That would be like the place to go for one of them in the middle of the night. I think.
I don't know. Barbecue.
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno popper. Gary?
I'm gonna go for the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese
What if you're
biscuit.
taking a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and you take that jalapeno popper, and you cut it in half, and you put it on top of that egg and cheese biscuit?
That'd be
and
good.
Cover it back up and eat the shit out of that. Oh my goodness!
X Adam 1 said popper. I don't like jalapenos.
Do you think jalapeno popper cream cheese in the middle, or is that like a given, or no? Or is it cream cheese? Whatever kind of cheese in the middle.
It's cream cheese, but I've seen them done with cheddar cheese as well.
I have.
So it's a given though. Like
Not
the
as
cheese.
good though. I don't think.
Does that make it a popper? Probably. The cheese part.
Sergeant Joe Smith said biscuit.
Because at first I was thinking just jalapeno wrapped with bacon, but then I remembered there's cheese in there, so that could be a little more filling.
So now we've got a club sandwich against the mac and cheese. Gee webs.
Now I'm flipping over to mac and cheese. I don't want to eat a club sandwich.
One for mac and cheese. Barbecue?
The club sandwich was lucky to get this far. It just had a easy round before. Mac and cheese.
I agree.
Mac and cheese. Gary?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Sergeant Joe Smith said mac.
The worst mac and cheese is like stale macaroni and cheese, where like, can you imagine? I can't even. I've eaten very few club sandwiches, but not all good ones. Like there's been some horrible. Like think of something in a gas station that comes out of plastic.
X Adam 1 said club. I'm going to say I do like sandwiches. I like club sandwiches, but I would, if I was at a restaurant, I would probably order the club sandwich. But at home, I would want the mac and cheese. I'm going to say mac and cheese.
Let's see, I'm the other way. Like if I'm making my own sandwich, I'll eat whatever, but I don't trust a restaurant to put one of them together.
Oh, now we've got burger against a BLT. Gee webs.
I make that decision when I get paid to eat out every week or every month. So BLT, hands down. I'll be the only vote for BLT.
The Five Guys BLT is it's a big price for not a lot of food.
I hear that. I mean, they give you a lot of bacon, but it's their bacon, which is not the best bacon in the world or anything. Nobody goes to Five Guys for their bacon.
And I don't like that it's it's a burger bun flipped inside out.
No, they only do the grilled cheese flipped inside out. The BLT is just normal, but yeah,
Oh, is it?
it's still not good on a burger bun. It's not right. But it's they only have what they got. And I would not go there if I wasn't getting paid to go there, for sure.
Oh, the Saint said deep fried mac and cheese with bacon balls.
I've had that a couple of times, and yep.
Barbecue, BLT or bacon burger?
So I don't know what you guys are going to eat when your lettuce and tomato that are being shipped in from other countries have like a salmonella outbreak, and now you just have bacon.
I thought you were going to say tariff on them.
Didn't think about that. But yeah, so we're gonna go with the burger because
It's true. Half of your BLT comes from other countries where your burger is 100% American, for sure.
Gary?
Burger.
Burger. X Adam 1 said burger. Don't vote based on Five Guys. The burger with extra bacon is great.
I mean, I don't like their bacon as much as some places, but they definitely give you, like, their bacon is the same as their fries, right? Like, they don't skimp on bacon. They're giving you bacon there.
Ozzy has a special little microwave clamshell dish that makes sausage, egg, and cheese on the Egg McMuffin. I've always wanted one of those breakfast sandwich makers.
Oh, I have one. It's like all stacked up.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one, and it's.
I had one, but
definitely
she
better than
divorced me.
commercial. But the problem is that there's only heat coming from the two sides, and then the middle part is supposed to heat up, and then you put it together, and it, like say, maybe in the perfect circumstances, but I could never get it to do what it's supposed to. It didn't all work right.
I never bought one because I knew I wouldn't use it enough to justify buying one.
I bought it at a thrift store, so I think it was like $3 or $5 probably. Like, I didn't put much investment into it because I figured the same thing. Like, one, I'm probably never going to use it even if it's ideal, but it wasn't all that ideal. There was a reason I was at the thrift store.
Sergeant Joe Smith said burger, and I'm going to say burger. I like BLTs, but I like the bacon burgers more.
I mean, a BLT is just a bacon burger without the burger in there, so I can imagine most people are going to go burger.
So now deviled eggs against bacon pizza. G-Webs?
Not even a contest pizza all day long, as I described earlier. Or no, I'll change it up this time. Now it's a Pizza Hut thick crust or whatever with that bacon bits type of bacon they use. Again, extra sauce, cheddar cheese. Well done.
Barbecue.
deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
This dude likes eggs.
I do.
Oh. Thank you, Guns and Water.
Can you make deviled eggs with like duck eggs or stuff? Does it get different or better?
If you really wanted, but they're smaller normally, so.
No, duck eggs are bigger.
I thought they were bigger.
Quail eggs are smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting too.
Let's say, I know duck eggs have a richer yolk.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I was thinking the size, but yeah.
The taste wise, and this is store bought, not from the farm or anything. They tasted about the same as a chicken egg. I didn't taste a huge difference between the two. It was bigger, so there's more egg.
Well, they eat different things. Like ducks are sitting there eating shit out of the water constantly, where chickens are eating bugs and shit. So I would imagine they would taste different because of different animals.
So the ones I had here at home, there is a very noticeable difference. The yolk is also a bit silkier.
In a duck?
Yeah. Honestly, like after having the duck eggs a few times, it's like, okay, I like these, but at first I wasn't sure if I liked them because I had that much of a flavor difference. But even, I mean, just my own eggs compared to store-bought eggs, that takes a second to get used to because
Well, that's kind of
Like
what I was
having
saying.
taste versus having like empty lack of taste or whatever.
The ones I had were store bought, so they're probably not eating the same stuff you're
yeah,
feeding your ducks. And I haven't bought eggs from a farmer. I've had what are supposed to be more farm raised. They're really popular and really expensive. To me, they tasted the same as the eggs I normally bought, but I don't know if that's because there wasn't a huge difference or I can't taste the difference. Um, so that there may be a huge more of a
Are you
difference
like
because you had fresher eggs that you raised.
are you putting like two
They,
just
a
scrambled
lot
eggs
more.
next to each other, or are you putting like two things made with the eggs next to each other? Like with other ingredients.
Well, barbecues are contain more love, so that's a richer flavor. Gary, deviled eggs or bacon pizza?
Bacon pizza.
Bacon pizza. I'm gonna say deviled eggs. So this is gonna go to the chat to break this tie.
You like deviled eggs enough to put it up against pizza?
I like pizza, but I don't really like bacon on the pizza.
I've had bad bacon on pizza, so I get where you're coming from. Like I've had some chewy, gross bacon on pizza, and
I,
I don't know. Can bacon be too crispy? I don't think. I'm not a fan of burnt bacon, but I don't care. Burnt bacon is still bacon to me.
Guns and Water said love checking. I did not mean it in that way. I don't think Guns and Barbecue is making sweet sweet love down by the fire with his ducks.
well, I mean, cut its head off, and if you've never seen House of a Thousand Corpses, just disregard that comment.
X Adam 1 said, my mom buys eggs from a couple that has chickens. Real eggs to me taste nasty. They are way more yellow and flavorful. If you're not careful, you get a small chick.
My mom was cracking eggs in front of me when I was a little kid one time, and there was a chicken in there from like a regular store. It wasn't like we went to like a chicken farm or something.
There's someone on YouTube that has taken store bought eggs and then incubated them and gotten a chick, but I forget how many eggs they went through and before that happened. I didn't watch their videos, so I don't know how much. I kind of lean towards it was not real, but I don't know. And I've heard other people have tried that, but I don't know what their results were. But X Adam 1 said pizza. Ozzy said pizza. Sergeant Joe Smith said pizza.
I can't tell you how many dozen eggs I've bought and then just sat on them for weeks and weeks, but I've never gotten a chicken out of it. I'll keep trying.
So, back when I could still see and drive truck and all that, I get a phone call early one morning, and it's Kiz's mother, and she's like, "You're never gonna guess what our youngest daughter did." I was like, "What?" So she had gone in to wake kids up for well, hell, they weren't even in school yet. Well, I think the oldest was. Anyways, when she had gotten up to go get the kids, she had to go through the kitchen first. And when she goes through the kitchen, she can't help but notice that the fridge is wide open. There's half a stick of Eaton butter because that was a thing for a while. But then Then there's a couple broken eggs on the floor. She's like, what the hell? So she goes and wakes up the kids, and the youngest daughter just flies up and lifts up her pillow and goes, darn it, they didn't hatch. And there was 24 eggs sitting under her pillow.
Well, you don't know if you don't try.
Right?
She like watched a TV show or read a book or something that said that.
Well,
She figured it out.
and the thing, she was on the top bunk. It's like, so she had to put some effort into getting all those eggs up there.
M. Gabriel wants to know how BLT got eliminated by Bacon Burger. He demands a
Because this is
recount.
America.
So now we've got the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit against mac and cheese. G-Webs.
Not that difficult. I have not had all good experiences with mac and cheese. So just because you put bacon in it doesn't stop it from being weepy or cold or not good. So bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Yeah, I've had a couple of bad ones, but the good ones make up for the bad ones, and even a bad one is still a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. So bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Thank you very much.
Barbecue.
So both of these are pretty good. I'm a little confused how the jalapeno popper got eliminated by this, but so I'm gonna just say, like, only one of these is gonna make you truly happy when you're sad and just, wondering about your life decisions and how you got to this point. And that's usually savory foods. Additionally, like, only one of these makes sounds like your favorite lady of the night. So we have to go with mac and cheese.
So your fist in your mac and cheese.
Like an old lady without teeth eating soup.
Gary.
I'm going to go with bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Ozzy said biscuit. X Adam 1 said biscuit. Sergeant Joe Smith, biscuit.
The thing about the mac
Guns
and
of
cheese
Water,
is it's like a cheese,
biscuit.
It's like a cheese spotlight, right? It's a whole thing about usually you're messing the bacon is sort of an accent, but I'm thinking we probably have done some kind of thing when we were camping and we like loaded it up with bacon, but I think it's still going to be a cheese dish.
Ooh. I'm going to say mac and cheese. I like both very much. But if that's all I had to eat for a week, I would want, I had to eat one or the other. I would eat the mac and cheese rather than the biscuit. But the chat has voted. So biscuit, egg, and cheese biscuits, moving on.
Talked everybody right out of the mac and cheese. That was great.
So now we've got bacon burger against bacon pizza. G-Webs.
I mean, I get the bacon burger thing, but I still think burger is the thing there, and the bacon is just an accessory.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. It's like the bacon, but this is a bacon challenge or bacon bracket. So I'm saying, like, a burger is the spotlight there, just like cheese was the spotlight of mac and cheese. Where, like, a BLT, it's about the bacon for me. Maybe the tomato. But anyway, bacon pizza is what I'm voting, obviously, so bacon pizza. I'll be the only vote.
One for pizza, barbecue.
So I'm just going to say I disagree with G-Webs because it's the best bacon delivery system. So it's not about the bacon; it's about the delivery system of the bacon.
Yeah.
I've got to go with the burger.
One for the burger. Burgers voting burger. Gary.
Well, this is a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with a burger.
Burger. Let me go back here. X Adam 1 said burger all the way. Sergeant Joe Smith said burger. Ozzy said pizza.
Big difference between like a McDonald's or whatever where you get bacon on it versus going to like a good restaurant and getting an actual real burger and then having bacon on that. Like that's all I can see that definitely.
Guns and Water said melted cheese bacon ball.
How do you know these people are all voting for hamburger as opposed to just talking to barbecue?
Burger.
They're asking him a question.
Oh. So I'm going to say burger. So now we got a battle of the sandwiches. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit against a bacon cheeseburger. Well, bacon burger or cheeseburger. G-Webs.
Well, I was pretty confident that bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit was going to win it all, take it completely. But then burger happened, so I'm going to be the only vote for bacon, egg, and cheese, I guess.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Barbecue.
This is actually tough because it's not that tough. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. You got to have eggs. And have you seen like it's cheaper to buy a cow these days? I'm going with the burger.
Run for burger. Gary.
If you want to, you can take a burger and then put a fried egg on it. And it's really good. So,
Oh yeah.
Going with a burger all the way on this one. Yeah.
Yes, that is very good, and it is best when it's when the egg is sunny side up or over easy, so it's a runny yolk.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
What about, I'm surprised none of y'all brought this up, being burger enthusiasts, bacon burger enthusiasts, but I know that a thing in Vegas that they'll do is go to this place where I think you can even get it in different percentages, but they'll chop up bacon as part, like a ratio, like 45% of the burger is bacon. What about that kind of bacon burger where it's literally part of the ground meat, not just, strips on top?
Sounds baked.
No, it's a thing. Like I said, I think
You can buy frozen patties that are like that.
I think it was when that bacon restaurant existed, you could buy burgers, but then it was actually chopped up into the meat.
I've done that with
appealing, but I get it.
I've made patties with mixing the cheese in with the. So instead of putting a slice of cheese on top, the cheese is in the burger.
Well, that was a thing back in the day for hot dogs also, where like they would put cheese chunks in the hot dog, and you could get people would do that to hamburgers, have cheese chunks in the hamburger.
Oh, so Sergeant Joe Smith said burger. X Adam 1 was asking what time of day it makes a difference. Not to me. But he also said burger.
What? What time of day for what?
Oh, what you're eating.
Cheese versus burger.
Yeah, for me, there's no. It's all the same. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner is just I'm eating.
Well, if you
whatever
guys
I'm eating.
When you think bacon burger, is the first thing that comes to mind like a McDonald's or Burger King or something, like fast food thing wrapped in paper, like which is the size of a bun or less, or is it the restaurant thing where the burger's hanging out the side of the bun and there's lettuce and shit all on it and it's got a big plate of fries and you're sitting there for a while chewing on it, you're maybe taking some of it home, like what I mean, like what comes to mind when you think of bacon burger?
That's more of what I'm thinking of is a sit down restaurant.
So I could see that winning. Obviously he's going to win compared to bacon, egg, and cheese. But most people, I think, are thinking bacon, egg, and cheese like in paper, coming out of like a Hardee's or what is it, Carl's Jr. drive-through or something. Because nobody goes to a restaurant and orders a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, right? It's your, sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, probably not.
So it was a biased poll. That's all I'm saying. It was a biased bracket, but biased bacon bracket.
Hey, if you don't like the bracket, you can always do your own, buddy.
No, it wasn't the heart attack place. I mean, I don't know if the heart attack place has that, but this was a place that was like themed bacon stuff, and they had all these different ways of eating bacon. And Marco and Pink would go there all the time, and it closed down now, I think. But I think it was there, and they were saying you could get like a burger with 25% bacon chopped up in it. Because it changes it. It's not a burger anymore. Have you ever had like a pork burger? I'm assuming you've all eaten pork burgers. Like they're totally different tasting, right, than a hamburger. So it's.
I have. I bought some frozen patties by accident. Was not as good, but
Yeah, it tastes like rubbery, or I don't know what the word is, but it definitely didn't taste the same as a beef burger.
what the flavor. And I tend to only buy ground sirloin burgers. So I like the flavor better.
So you buy what, 80-20? 90-10?
No, usually 15%.
Oh, okay.
Because
That's-
it's not
that's
super
finite.
greasy, but not dry.
Can you go up to the butcher and say, I want this specific ratio, and they go in back and whip it up, or is it just you have to go to a place that has that made and you buy it?
Well, they'll have them. You can, if you look at the packages, it'll tell you whether it's 80-20, 85-15, 90-10.
Usually the bargain stuff is 70-30.
I couldn't tell you the last time I went and bought a thing of ground beef. I must have bought ground beef in my life, but I would
To
not.
me, the 80-20 tastes better than 70-30.
Ozzy said I make sausage, egg, and cheese muffins about 4 times a week. And X Adam says bacon has become too salty for me these past few years. That might be you. You're getting older. That's,
I want to
older
know.
people like blander food.
I just want to know what he's doing to the bacon that it's so salty with him. Like, you stop being mean to your bacon.
Oh, G-Webs.
It was a pretty good bracket. What gave you the idea for a bacon bracket?
Because I did a bacon poll.
Oh.
Anything you got coming up you want to let everybody know about?
No. Thanks for hosting.
Oakley dokley. Barbecue.
Yo.
Yeah, anything you got coming up you want to let everybody know about? I'll post a link for the 2A is blind one more time.
Well, thank you. That's all I was going to mention is there's that new project. So with my Guns and Barbecue channel, I still plan on reaching 2,000 subs before Rich White hits 500. But now I've got the goal of making this one hit 500 before Rich hits 500. So I am going to be pumping out some content. I actually got an idea for some shorts that I'm going to start doing with it. I have no idea if they're going to catch on or not, but I feel like they'll be funny. And anybody that's been around the chats that we all frequent and whatnot, I feel like they'll appreciate these shorts. So that'll be fun. But yeah, so just that new channel. So thanks for the invite.
I appreciate you being here. Gary, how about you? What you got coming up?
Well, First, I thought I was muted, then I realized I wasn't. So, let's see. I just did a bunch of knife reviews last week on some CRKT stuff. So I've got a couple more. I got a couple flashlights I need to review on this next week. Always Monday night, Foul Territory. My live stream is at 9 o'clock p.m. And I too have a new channel for those music aficionados. It's called Boomer Listens. And it's basically from the standpoint of somebody my age listening to current music. Because I don't really listen to much stuff that's came out in the last 20, 25 years. So my daughter has suggested some, that I've had some other people make suggestions out there. So yeah, check that out if it's your thing. Right now, I think there's only 8 people subscribed to it, and I've only got one video out there. But anyway, that's what I got going on. Thanks for having me.
Just looking at the YouTube feed, and for some reason, it's showing not what it's supposed to be showing.
What's it showing?
The overnight, the Foss kind of avatar. It's not showing everybody.
Wow.
Not sure what's going on here. There it goes.
It was stuck. Just needed to be nudged a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're appreciate everybody that was out there. If you watch this in replay, leave a comment. Anything we talked about, agree with, disagree with. What's your favorite bacon dish? I read all the comments, and they're always appreciated. So, other than that, I hope everybody has a good rest of the night and go do something good.